Holy shit. He said,
everybody trying to be a victim. Like, what's this girl, Meghan Markle? Ah, seemed like a nice lady, just complaining. I was like, didn't she hit the light skin lottery and still going on complaining, acting all dumb like she don't know nothing? Going on Oprah, I didn't know. I had no idea how racist they were. It's the royal family. You didn't Google these motherfuckers?
It started like any other comedy special. Lights down, crowd buzzing, Chris Rock stepping into the spotlight. But what happened next? That wasn't comedy. That was a public execution. And Meghan Markle was the target.
The biggest addiction in America is attention. We are addicted to attention. Easiest way to get attention is to be a...
No careful buildup, no dancing around names. Rock went straight for the jugular. In under 60 seconds, he turned her from victim of the press into punchline of the decade.
seen that video? No. Pull that video up, because it's one of
So racist is so racist. Some of the shit she went through was not racism. It was just some in-law shit. Because she's complaining. I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? No, Oprah, they're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby's going to be. I'm like, that's not racist. Because even black people want to know.
And here's what makes it so brutal. It wasn't even the funniest thing he said. The real destruction came in the silence that followed each joke when the audience processed it and realized, yeah, he's right.
What the fuck is she talking about? She didn't know. It's the royal family. They're the original racists.
For years, Meghan had played the sympathetic outsider, the underdog who didn't understand the system. But in one set, Rock flipped the script, exposing her as the exact opposite, entitled, manipulative, and hungry for the very fame she pretended to despise, and that, my friends, was just the opening blow because what came after wasn't just mockery, it was a chain reaction. And it all began the moment Rock told the world she was no Cinderella.
Posting up pathetic pictures. This is me eating sushi. Like me. This is me 25 years ago when I was hot. Like me. Oh, it's fucking sad.
The thing about Meghan's public image, it was built on a single fragile idea that she was blindsided by the weight of royal life, that she was the innocent Hollywood actress wandering into a palace like a fairy tale princess only to discover a cold, cruel world. It's a nice story until someone calls it what it is, pure fiction.
Hey, it's the husband formerly known as Prince. Any luck getting a job?
Oh, they had me driving for Uber Eats, but there were too many damn rules. Don't touch the food. Don't taste the food. Drive on the road.
I'm sorry, Rowdy Reddy.
Chris Rock didn't tiptoe around it. He didn't question her narrative. He set it on fire. He compared her ignorance of the royal family to a basketball player claiming they'd never heard of the NBA. And the crowd lost it. It was sharp. It was simple. And it was impossible to argue with. In that moment, the illusion cracked. Because, let's be honest, Meghan didn't just stumble into royalty. She researched it. She dated a prince for years. She walked into that palace with her eyes wide open and a camera-ready smile.
She was hunting for a man in England. She wanted wealth and she wanted fame, and she targeted her.
And Chris Rock. He just gave the audience permission to admit what they'd been thinking all along. That's the real power of a joke like his. It doesn't just make you laugh. It pulls the mask off slowly in front of a crowd that's suddenly realizing maybe they've been conned. And the most devastating part, Meghan wasn't in the room to defend herself. But she didn't have to be, because from that night on, the poor Meghan act was finished. Every late-night host, every sadist, every Twitter account with a Wi-Fi signal now had blood in the water. What Rock did in under 5 minutes would take her PR team years, maybe decades to undo. A perfect roast doesn't just land, it detonates.
What is she talking about? I didn't know. That's like marrying into the Budweiser family and going, they drink all.
Hours after Chris Rock's special dropped, his Meghan takedown was everywhere. TikTok loops, Twitter clips, YouTube breakdowns with freeze frames of audience members doubled over. And then the comedy world pounced. In Britain, the gloves came off instantly. Comics painted Meghan and Harry as walking contradictions, obsessed with status while pretending to reject it, cashing massive Netflix checks under the banner of purpose.
Keep
time to do our daily $250,000 sponsored Instagram post.
I shouldn't have left the made-up nonsense.
The Duchess of Sussex shared a photo of herself cuddling her daughter on Instagram and a never-before-seen picture from her.
Their barbs were dry, cutting, and delivered with the kind of disdain only lifelong royal watchers can muster. Across the Atlantic, late-night hosts smelled the same blood. They mocked the brand deals, the self-pity.
The sweet Meghan Markle said she has a finger they can use if they need it.
The infamous "we want privacy" line, hammering it so hard you could almost hear the palace laughing.
We want privacy! We want privacy! Well, I just think some people might say that your Instagram-loving wife actually doesn't want her privacy. How dare you, sir? My Instagram-loving wife has always wanted her privacy!
5 minutes later.
Who's filming this?
The worst part, the jokes started to overlap. Comedians who'd never shared a stage were making identical cracks. That's not coincidence. That's the moment a narrative flatlines. By week's end, Meghan wasn't a misunderstood duchess or an exact actress. She was the comedy world's newest running gag, a human headline whose contradictions were too easy, too obvious, and too funny for any comic to ignore. The roast had gone global, and it wasn't stopping.
Markle, the only thing she found was a rich, famous husband.
The nearest thing Meghan Markle ever had to a billion-dollar idea was marrying a prince.
If Chris Rock lit the match, the internet dumped gasoline on it. Within days, Meghan's most awkward moments weren't just being mocked, they were being turned into viral currency. TikTok creators stitched her interviews with clips of rolling eyes, sarcastic voiceovers, and laugh tracks ripped from sitcoms.
To have a snack is to take the snack out of one bag and then move them into another bag and then label this new bag, even though this bag already has a label on it. Tap water!
That bizarre snack rebagging scene from her Netflix show meme gold. The celebrity name drops cut into compilations labeled Meghan's imaginary friends. Twitter turned savage. Screenshots of her contradictions, privacy pleas, alongside staged paparazzi shots, spread like wildfire. Users didn't just share them. They weaponized them with captions so brutal they didn't need punchlines.
My name is Meghan Sussex now. Call me Meghan Markle one more time, Mindy K.
YouTube creators dissected her interviews frame by frame, pointing out rehearsed expressions, calculated pauses, and lines that sounded like PR copy gone bad. Suddenly, she wasn't a duchess telling her truth. She was a character in an ongoing soap opera, and the audience had switched from sympathy to pure mockery.
God, that hat. Oh, God. He's so hot. Look at him. Isn't Prince Harry? She bagged a fox.
The most dangerous part, memes move faster than damage control. By the time her team could draft a rebuttal, the next viral joke had already replaced it. The internet wasn't just laughing at Meghan, it was erasing whatever dignity she had left. If the internet was a wildfire, late-night TV was the flamethrower. Night after night, Meghan and Harry became the go-to joke, the easy laugh that didn't even need setup anymore.
Plans for a spin-off to the hit series Suits, which will be set in Los Angeles. It will focus on Meghan Markle's character's struggle to balance her legal career while also caring for an unemployed...
On Saturday Night Live, they weren't portrayed as rebels or victims. They were cast as a clueless royal dropout and his fame-chasing wife stumbling through a world they didn't understand but desperately wanted to monetize. The skits were exaggerated, but not by much.
You have been working so hard. Oh my God. You're probably the hardest worker in the world. I don't know anybody that's worked as hard as you. I don't know, I'm just doing my best.
It's the biggest piece of dog
Jimmy Fallon zeroed in on the absurd details, Meghan claiming they were married before the royal wedding.
Another big revelation was that Meghan said that she and Harry actually got married 3 days before the royal wedding. Great, now I feel like a fool for waking up at 5 a.m. to watch two married people get married.
Harry's bizarre oversharing in his memoir, their habit of turning mundane inconveniences into trauma. Even Stephen Colbert, hardly known for being ruthless, dropped lines that made the audience wince and laugh at the same time.
Markle has finally revealed why she and Prince Harry call each other M and H. What could it be? A mystery for the age.
The magic of late-night mockery is repetition. The same jokes get told so often by so many hosts that they stop feeling like comedy and start feeling like truth.
I'm going to succeed in America. I need a lifestyle brand of creams and supplements. Gwyneth Paltrow has Goop, Kourtney Kardashian has Poosh, and Jamie Lee Curtis has Poogert. Now I've got mine, Meg Goo, celebrating the sexy earth goddess in all of us.
Within weeks, Meghan wasn't just a controversial figure. She was a fixed part of the late-night script, a permanent character in an ongoing roast that no amount of PR spin could rewrite. Comedians on club stages didn't bother with subtlety or clever nods. They went straight for Meghan's jugular. Simon Brodkin mocked the Netflix doc as a 6-hour infomercial for self-pity, tearing into its staged sincerity and melodramatic music cues.
Careful, Harry. I spilled some essential oils on the floor.
He ridiculed the idea that bowing to the Queen or curtsying was some kind of traumatic ordeal, comparing it to complaining about having to take your shoes off at the airport. Other comics dug into Harry's own words from Spare, twisting his cringeworthy oversharing into setups that made him sound out of touch, pampered, and embarrassingly insulated from reality.
I don't know, Megs. I've tried every career there is. Prince, Hitler. Maybe I'm just not qualified for anything.
That's not true. You're a great husband, a good-hearted man. You've got big, muscular teeth.
Thanks, Meg. And I guess now I'm qualified for this. Unemployment!
But Meghan was always the bigger target. Her polished sound bites were called Oscar speeches for an audience of one. In comedy clubs, there's no network censor, no polite chuckle. The laughs are raw, loud, and often cruel. And every brutal one-liner spread online instantly, giving the public fresh ammo to keep the ridicule alive. By the time these sets went viral, Meghan's image wasn't just damaged, it was shredded. And nobody in those crowds was asking for it to be put back together.
H was accepted. H has been, and H called me with H, and H was out, and with A.
Animated satire works differently. Once you're a caricature, that version of you sticks in the public's mind longer than reality ever will. The damage here wasn't just comedic, it was psychological. When audiences start laughing at your cartoon self more than your real one, your control over your own image is gone. By the time the credits rolled on South Park, Meghan wasn't just mocked, she was immortalized as a symbol of performative victimhood. And no press statement or exclusive interview could ever erase that drawing.
We want privacy. It's so quiet and empty here. If we moved her, then people would think we're really serious about wanting to be normal. It does seem perfect.
Bill Maher didn't come with props, skits, or cartoon versions. He came with something far more dangerous. Cold logic.
From Netflix for no one knows what.
Put it with the rest of...
Where other comedians mocked Meghan's quirks or contradictions, Maher dissected the entire strategy. He called out the hypocrisy of wanting the perks of royalty without the responsibility, the fame without the scrutiny, the spotlight without the heat.
Pretty girl, actress, influencer, victim.
Yeah, that's totally me. What matters is what we have on the inside.
In his words, it wasn't a scandal. It was a business model built to collapse. He contrasted their endless grievances with the stoic silence of Queen Elizabeth, a woman who endured decades of relentless press without turning it into a Netflix special. The comparison was devastating. One side looked dignified. The other looked desperate.
Don't call another human being Your Highness.
Maher's real punch landed when he said, "The world isn't obligated to play along with your personal drama." That single line stripped away the victim narrative and exposed the entitlement beneath it. No shouting, no cheap shots, just a blunt truth that left the audience nodding instead of laughing. By the end, Maher hadn't just roasted Meghan. He diagnosed her brand, and the prognosis was terminal, a self-inflicted implosion wrapped in a royal title and sold as tragedy.
Destroyed her in-laws' family, whose own family doesn't like her, whose the in-laws obviously don't like her, the public doesn't like her. She's stuck because she was an actress who became a real princess, who wants to be an actress again, but has to continue to pretend to be a real princess.
By now, Meghan's image wasn't just dented. It was shattered into 1,000 memes, punchlines, and one-liners bouncing around the globe. What started as a single Chris Rock joke had snowballed into a cultural verdict delivered not in courtrooms, but on comedy stages and social media. The most brutal part, the laughter had outlived the news cycle. Even when Meghan and Harry tried to pivot to charity work or rebrand with polished interviews, the public heard every word through the echo of those jokes. Every statement sounded rehearsed. Every photo op looked staged. The roast had become the filter, and that's the danger of becoming comedy shorthand. Once your name means performative hypocrisy in pop culture, it's over.
Think about your hard life, and you're so privileged. It's just so weird.
Today, Suits actress Meghan Markle married some unemployed dude who still lives with his grandma.
Politicians survive scandals. Celebrities recover from PR disasters. But when your brand is reduced to a smirk and a punchline, you can't rebuild it. You can only live under it. The court gestures of the modern age had spoken, and the sentence was permanent. Meghan's narrative wasn't taken from her by the press, the palace, or even Chris Rock. It was taken by the world's laughter. And laughter doesn't give anything back. And that's the thing about this whole saga. It's not just about one joke or one special. Chris Rock may have been the spark, but the firestorm has spread far beyond stand-up stages. Every contradiction, every overplayed grievance, every desperate grab for relevance, it's all now part of a permanent public record written in punchlines.
Hey, she's not happy.
Oh, yeah, it's so hard to be pretty. So your life is so hard. You're a fucking princess.
But here's where it gets even uglier, because Meghan's drama isn't just burning bridges with the public. It's torching relationships that once gave her and Harry the credibility they can't buy back. One of the most damning examples, the implosion of Celeb, the charity Harry once called his life's work. If you think the comedy world was brutal, wait until you see what happened when Sophie Chandaka, one of the most respected figures tied to that mission, decided she'd had enough. It's not just a disagreement, it's a slam heard around the world, and it left Harry absolutely fuming. You can see the full breakdown right now in my last video, only on Star Spotlight, where the real royal stories get told.